Oh, it is what they call Christmas Eve, 2025. I decided to sit down and talk before I go start my day. It's a beautiful day here in Sweet Homestead, Alabama. Right around 60 degrees right now. And going to warm up into the 70s. Tomorrow's going to be 77 on the 25th of December. I passed by the winter solstice on the 21st of December and forgot to say anything, but oh well. So I'm fixing to go out and work on my present project, which made a video a couple of days called "Is this a teepee, wickiup, or wigwam?" And I knotted together some plastic bags and around a wickiup conical that I whipped together in a short time. I thought, well, after I looked at it, I didn't really care for it that much. So fixing to go redo it, kind of explain what I'm doing. But for right now, I'm just having a cup of coffee, enjoying the bird sounds. Don't know if their microphone's going to pick those sounds up, but yeah, the birds. Yeah. All right. I have. So the idea is combining old-fashioned ways with modern materials, primarily junk, garbage, stuff that you find for free or pay very little for. Trying to get out of the realm of buying materials that, like say for, like a 10 by 10 tarp, or as the metric people call it, a 3 by 3 tarp. To build little shelters and stuff like that. I've gone off and trying to use, plastic tarps and trash bags and stuff like that. Because in the future, as I keep saying, the only growing resource is trash. And as I drive around, there's trash everywhere. Again, I live a couple of miles off of what's called Troy Highway. The highway goes between Troy and Montgomery, Alabama. And it's, let me see, it's about 40 miles long, roughly. And as you drive it back and forth, I have to go to one of the two towns, to buy civilized things. And, or, things that you have to do that modern life demands. Well, I noticed that when hunting season comes on, and hunting season in Alabama is long, it's like 4 or 5 months long, 4 months long. The ditches along the highway start filling up with deer corn feed bags, plastic bags. Put them together and you can make a shelter if you have a roll of tape. If you don't have a roll of tape, there's other ways to do it, but it works better with tape. And you can make some pretty inexpensive shelters out of plastic bags that you find, as long as you have a roll of tape. And it doesn't really matter what kind of tape. None of these shelters are meant to last forever. The plastic ends up in a landfill or gets burned or just lays around the highway or something sometimes. So it's just kind of utilizing the things as best as I can. After I finish this cup of coffee, I'm going to go over that way into my Tarpee teepee workshop area and start working on that. So I made some changes. I just wanted to give a little tour of the updated village, Tarpee village. I put that's I guess a wedge plow point tripod frame over this tent, because all tents have to have tarps put over because they just don't last. And this 10-foot Harbor Freight Tarpee, I got the liner to finish. It's in there, but I only have it pieced and pinned together. I don't have it sewed, so I have to take it out and then sew it up. On the quickie up, my tying the knots, I don't like it, so I tried to put string to hold up flat garbage bags, but that's not working, so I'm going to go back and work on that. There's a tripod, another plow point or wedge or whatever shaped thing for what usually are called debris shelters. And what I want to note about that is See, people, when you make a tripod without lashings, you really have to have these crotched sticks. And you know what? That looks simple, but it's really tricky to get them to lock in together and work. And the big 18-footer, so you can see it upside right instead of upside down. Working on that. I probably am going to just leave that up for a while longer to let those poles cure a little bit longer before I put the cover on. And it'll probably take two people, one person to help me to lift that lifting pole with the cover on it. So we'll have to wait until then. And then back here in this corner, I'll walk around and show a little bit of progress that's been done. I took down the wiki up that I had right there where that travois frame is, and I redid it over there. So it's the same wiki up, just new and improved, working on better. Here is the squashed, what I usually refer to as an 8-foot to a 10-foot, but I've decided to call it a squashed. And then there's the semi, the half with a bipod. On the squashed one, I decided to go ahead with the one pole in the center. Here's the travois. Now that travois to me is one of the most interesting things because to me it talks about the evolution of conicals that turned into teepees later. Because teepees are like the highlight of conicals in my estimation, you know. And so to me, I still always differentiate between a wickiup, a wigwam, and a teepee. Although the words kind of mean the sort of same thing, but they're really different structures from different groups of people. And we, in the future, who are going to be living off of the trash that people have been tossing, are going to be taking old-time ideas and with sticks and putting new type ideas with trash bags and tarps, and we will be creating things from there. Now, I thought rather than call that a sticky up or a quickie up, I thought about calling it a trash baggy up, or maybe a trash baggy, or just a baggy. I don't know. So there. On the evolution now, these tripods are probably where these ideas came from, or leaning some sticks up against a tree, or leaning some sticks up against the, I got an overturned tree down here that I saw somebody put sticks up on and build a shelter. And I'm going to go ahead and show that because I can use it for later footage anyway. So you get an idea. Now there's an older guy, maybe he's older than me, I don't know, from New England, and I can't remember these guys' YouTube sites, but he goes out into the woods and he can tell you by which way the trees fell, and he can figure out the year and which time the tornado or storm came through by all the trees falling in one direction. You can look at that overturned tree there and he can tell you, oh, that happened during the storm of whatever year, because he knows the age of the tree or whatever. But when these wear down, after the tree rots away, there will be a hump and a hole, and one of the terms that he calls it is a pillow and cradle. And there's another term that probably hump and hole for all I know. Ooh, that sounds bad. But I saw a guy that made a shelter leaning the sticks up against that. So shelters started off probably more like debris huts, debris type shelters. Just stick some poles up against somewhere, throw a moose hide or a elk hide or something over the top, or a bear hide or a mammoth hide, and boom, you got protection to where you can sleep and not freeze to death or not get too wet or whatever. All right, so that's the tour, Christmas Eve 2025, and we'll head back and see how this video turned out. Have a wonderful, wonderful sheltered day.